What's up, Fit Fam? You know what time it is. It's December, so we got a new Strength Club workout for you. We've already gone over workout A, so we're going to do workout B now. Again, a few new things here, but you know the drill. We got our templates, and we're going to start off with some ramping here, a few exercises that we can help build some, move better before we get started. We're also going to, get some core work in there as well. Then we have our total body or power work that we're going to do. We've got a couple exercises matched up, and then for our strength training, we're going to have a 4-exercise circuit for this one, and then we're working that 8 to 10 rep weight, and then to finish up, we have our finisher here. Again, pretty simple stuff, but we're going to focus on doing it well, really challenging ourselves with the weights, tempos, things like that as well. So as far as the ramping goes, we're going to start off with those hangs. Again, great for building that grip strength, shoulder mobility, decompressing that spine. 30 seconds is pretty manageable here. Focus on your breathing. Big deep breaths as you're hanging here. So you want to make sure every breath is as big as you can, and then try to force all that air out to get those abs working. And then if you need to use your legs a little bit, by all means do it. Just don't be afraid to challenge that grip. Really make those hands do some work there. You're going to feel great after you get those done, and you will get better at these when you challenge yourself in that way as well. The second exercise, we're going to match the hangs up with our band rotation. So we haven't done these in a while. So that band rotation, I want you to notice how this is actually going to be working through those hips here. So it's not just about rotating through your torso. It's coming from those hips. Notice how I'm pivoting on that back foot. Abs rolled up nice and tight. Pivot through, and then rotate, reaching with those hands. Now to make this a little bit heavier, you're going to step a little further away. Now remember, it also doesn't have to be super heavy. I want you to be able to move well. Again, this is more about practicing some movements, not necessarily, burning out that core on this one. So we'll get a set in facing each direction on this one. The second group here, we have our band alternating single or half kneeling, alternating single arm rows or alternating rows here. So squeezing that back glute, driving that front big toe into the floor, and then one arm at a time. Also notice how I'm pulling down toward my low ribs and hip here, so that I'm actually trying to focus on squeezing that shoulder blade and making those back muscles do the work, not focusing on working those biceps here. So we'll get a set in on each side, squeezing that glute nice and tight, all of those abs again to make this heavier. Just scoot further away from the wall or from the beam, scoot in further to make it a little bit lighter. We're going to match that up with our bridge with the band pull downs. So here, notice how Coach Cat is keeping those bands pulled down the entire time. This is going to get those abs engaged, get those lats working for us as well. It's actually going to make those glutes feel stronger. Again, this is really about getting those muscles firing for us, not about burning those muscles out. So push the ground away from you, squeeze those glutes tight, and then drive those hips up toward the ceiling here. So we got 2 sets of those, and then we're going to move on to our power work here. So for this one, we're going to start off with that Echo bike. A lot of you like getting this one in at the beginning of the workout, which is great as well. You've got all that energy. We're going to go for 5 calories. That focus on pushing yourself as hard as you can on this one. Of course, you can always slow down if you need to. And then we're going to match that up with our skier. So real simple this time. 5 calories on the bike, then you're over that skier. You've got power, not speed on this. Reaching high, reaching for that top shelf, push all that air out as you're pulling down. You're going to go 10 pulls, and then 2 sets in. Give yourself, 30 to 90 seconds to recover. This combination can be kind of tough, so you're probably going to feel pretty gassed after that first set. Give yourself that time to recover so you get the most out of that second set as well. Once we've moved through those, we're going to move on to our strength training. So for this one, like I mentioned earlier, we have 4 exercises. We're going to do it in a circuit fashion, but just like workout A, this is not about going through them as quickly as you can, like a circuit, just back to back, boom, boom, boom. It's just means we're going to go through all 4 exercises before we start back with our second and third sets here. So we're going to go for 8 to 10 reps. So then that means that we are looking for a weight that is challenging for 8 reps, possibly that you could do for 9 or 10. But if you can do 9 or 10, then maybe take that weight up a little, make it a little more challenging for yourself so you can keep building up and turning your 8 rep weight into your 10 rep weight by the end of the month as well. So we'll start off with our deadlifts, trap bar, kettlebell. We got Coach Matt here working that trap bar deadlift. Nice flat back, chest up, driving through those heels, squeezing those glutes high at the top. Deep breath in on the way down. pushing the air out as you're driving up here. Make sure you're keeping your knees pushed apart here as well. Sometimes people's knees tend to cave in as they're working these, so we want to avoid any of that unnecessary stress here. So you can also do the kettlebell deadlift if you prefer here. So either one is a great exercise to work. The trap bar just helps us pull heavier weight, but if you feel more comfortable or you're just learning, or maybe right now your back's feeling a little tight, you can also work that kettlebell deadlift, and then helps you kind of switch up that weight there as well. You can also do the double kettlebell deadlift if you need to. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. I will say as well, when it comes to deadlifts, it's better to err on the side of making it just a little bit lighter. But if you, there are going to be days when you're going to feel really good and you want to challenge yourself, don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Just be smart about it. Listen to your body and see how it's feeling. The second exercise here is our landmine half kneeling single arm overhead press. So squeezing that back glute nice and tight, wall up those abs. I'm bringing that bar down, drive that front big toe in the floor. So it's pretty simple exercise. Now what you'll also notice here is that as I get to the top, there's a little bit of a rotation because I'm really trying to see how far I can reach and getting a nice stretch through those lats at the top. So 8 to 10 reps on one side, 8 to 10 on the other. If you like to use the landmine, the hammer sleeve on these, you can always use the hammer sleeve as well. And again, don't be afraid to challenge yourself with the weight here. The thing about the landmine half kneeling overhead press is you are going to be a little more limited because you're not going to be able to use that lower body at all here. So this can feel a little bit different. But again, if you feel like you can do 10 reps, do those 10 reps and then take the weight up for the next set, okay? The third exercise is our chin-ups. So you know the drill. You can use those bands if you need to, whether you like to cross hang them or top hang them. And then really, again, just like the deadlifts, when it comes to chin-ups, I would rather you go a little bit lighter if you need to really work on your form and own each rep. Making them hard is admirable, but you're not going to get as much out of them as if you make it slightly easier and focus on quality form. That doesn't mean make them easy. It just means if you're struggling to get that chest to the bar, get a little more assistance there so that you can get that full range of motion. You're going to get stronger faster that way. And then the last one is our sandbag rotational step up. So we haven't done this in a while. And here, this one, so traditional step up in the sense that we're just using that box, we're going to step up, but you'll notice here I'm rotating that bag outside my top leg. So I'm alternating legs here. You can also do the 8 to 10 reps on one leg, then switch, but you're going to rotate outside of that front leg, kind of like you're moving that bag around the knee, driving up, squeeze those glutes. Now here, don't be afraid to challenge yourself with the weight as well. We have heavier sandbags. They're going to be a great challenge for you. Now, if you are feeling comfortable with that rotational step up, you can also try that rotational step up to balance here. As you can see here, now you got to stay a little more focused on this one. I'm rotating outside my front leg. Then as I bring it up, I'm going to rotate outside the knee that's coming up here. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to pull my knee up because that bag's just going to get in the way. But it also offers a little bit extra challenge there. Nice and controlled on these reps. You'll see I'm not trying to fly through them. One rep at a time, knee staying over that midfoot like any other step up that we try to work here. Drive up, and you'll see that adding the rotation in is going to be just tweaking just enough. There's going to be a bit of a challenge there that you might not be used to. Going to that single leg and adding that rotation in is going to be really cool for some of you. It's going to be shocking how much more challenging that can be. Don't let that scare you out of working toward it, but if you are losing your balance, just go to that traditional step up here so that we make sure every rep's a good rep, because again, we want to be challenged for those 8 to 10 reps on each leg. So that's our strength training. The first week we'll get at least 2 sets in, possibly a third. Weeks 2, 3, and 4 we'll be moving more efficiently, and we'll get 3 sets in of everything there if you're feeling up to it. And then we're going to move on to our finisher from there. For this one, we have our sled squat row and push to get started here. So for that sled squat row, remember here, we're stepping back. We want to feel like we're straight. I know it's scary at first to sit back, but that sled will hold you up, and that way we're really going to be able to focus a little bit more on the glutes and those quads and not as much work for that lower back here. So we want powerful pulls as well. This is another place where some people go heavier than maybe they should because you'll see the sled isn't moving very fast or it's not moving very far. It's a place where you want to find that sweet spot where it's challenging but not so challenging you can't do it all the way, and you also don't want it so light that you're not really getting as much out of it. Then once you get that sled down to the other end, you're gonna push it all the way back down. So your sled squat row down, it should for most people be somewhere between 5 to 9 reps, maybe 10, but most people do it less than that. Then pushing it back. Then we're gonna work on our push-ups, because just like our chin-ups, it's great to practice those push-ups on a regular basis. You got Coach Matt here, knows how he's keeping those hips. Those hips are moving with him, but they're staying just up off the floor at the bottom. Squeeze no shoulders, deep breath in, pushing that air out. Again here, Matt's doing those from the floor. If you need to, you'll work one of the bars into an elevated push-up. Again, just like the chin-ups and those deadlifts, you're better off to make it a little bit lighter to really nail your form than to challenge yourself and make it hard but not get that complete range of motion. So use the bar, use those elevated push-ups to get better at these 5 to 10 reps. So if you can do 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, don't stop at 5. And if you can do 8, 9, or 10, consider making that push-up a little bit more challenging, whether it means going lower with the bar or possibly putting your feet up on a box, maybe wearing a vest when you do your push-ups. 5 to 10 reps there, and then the last one's our kettlebell swings. So again, another great one to work those glutes and quads, and great cardio burn here as well. So if you want to work those dead stop swings, like you see Coach Kat here right now, notice how she's driving those heels in the floor, getting those legs nice and straight. Her hips aren't going forward, they're going up. And then she's squeezing those glutes tight at the top, really getting all that power out of those hips here. You can also, so if you want to do those, you'll do 5 dead stop swings. Now, I also say, on a day that we do deadlifts like this workout, don't go quite as heavy. Don't think that you have to go heavy on your swings later. We already put a lot of work into those hips, those glutes, and that lower back. Here's a time to focus on the power that you can get out of these swings as opposed to making it heavy. And I'm saying that, I know a lot of you are going to really struggle to just let that sink in and do what I'm telling you to do, but we do have our correction sticks if it's necessary, okay? You can also do those 10 repetitions, whichever one feels most comfortable for you. We're going to get 2 to 3 sets of that in, and then we're finished up for this workout. So I think these are great workouts for this month. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. If you do have any other questions about that, by all means ask us in person or post any questions in this post as well, and we'll try to get those answers for you as quickly as we can. But let's have a great month, everybody.